Hello and welcome, for real, now that I've fixed the technology. Hopefully. And welcome to the Bonkers Big Bonus Bozjan Bonanza. We're going to a war zone, or whatever. So it's not really most of those words. It's not something to be made into some sort of car salesman type event. I don't know much about Bozja, other than it's written by the Evilise writer, and people either think this is the best story or the worst story. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be believing that it's the worst. But also, there's like a cool trial or something. So it's worth maybe like checking out the intro, and also I might want his sword. But anyway, hello. You begin Bozja by going to Kugane and starting this quest called Hail to the Queen. Milady, what auspicious timing! I intended to send a missive to the Rising Stones, but it seems that it is no longer necessary. Master Hancock wishes to speak with you regarding a matter of grave import. I can but imagine what other duties yet demand your attention. Still, he would request you meet him at the Ruby Bazaar at your earliest convenience. Okay. So what's up? And so she returns at last. From what Tataru has told me, you've come rather a long way, to put it mildly. And while the Scions remained locked in slumber, she sought aid from all corners of the realm. In fact, it was I to whom she first turned when searching for a champion to assist her in your absence. Though as you've no doubt surmised, I did not call you here to discuss such matters. I have received word from Lord Hien that the Bozjan Resistance, our comrades in the Eastern Alliance, seek the aid of distinguished heroes in their fight against the Empire, and, naturally, your name immediately sprang to mind. Bozjan Resistance, you say? Questioning head tilt? Indeed, from a small nation found in the southern reaches of Ilsabard to the west of Dalmasca, they were no doubt among the first to fall to the Empire. Yet it would seem their hearts have yet to give way to despair, and with the Empire now in disarray, they would seize the opportunity to fight back. If you would know the details in full, I think it best you speak with Lord Hien. His endless list of commitments makes him a hard man to find, however, so perhaps you can have one of his attendants at the House of the Fierce track him down for you. Nod. Immediately, I am reminded of the parts in the Evilise quest where we have to run around an unnecessary amount of time. When they probably could have just been like, go find Lord Hien, he's right here. I shouldn't enter into the story of Bozja with such a negative attitude, I suppose, but knowing the writer and how I reacted to that writer's previous contribution to the game, I don't have high hopes for the plot. Greetings, my lady. Lord Hien has been expecting you. When word reached us from the Bozjan Resistance, Lord Hien knew at once there was but one woman to whom he could turn. He left to the coattails not long ago. The view of Doma Castle helps to calm his mind. This way, if you please. Wait, why did you say this way, if you please, and then I have to go all the way over there? Also, what's this? Oh, that's part of a questline I started that leads into the Namazu quests, I think. This way, atop the broken bridge, he will be most glad for your arrival. Ah, Yugiri is here too. Do you remember when we first shared a view of this castle together? Still under the Garleans' control, perhaps, yet for all their wickedness, its beauty would not be so easily sullied. Smile, nod. It is good to see you, my friend. You must forgive me for foregoing pleasantries, but our guest here is in dire need of your help. Marsak of the Bozjan Resistance. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. Bow. As you have no doubt already heard from Lord Hien, my people seek to reclaim our homeland from the Empire. Under his auspices and that of the Eorzean Alliance, we aim to do just that. However, we recently received word that the 4th Imperial Legion has been making plans of their own. It has long held the provinces of Nangsha, Dalmasca, and Bozja in an iron grip, using its Dalmascan headquarters to house the bulk of its forces. Until recently, that is. They appear to be diverting resources and manpower to their forces stationed in Bozja. In fact, 3 battalions are en route as we speak. We thought perhaps to strike before they can fully assemble, but the Bozjan Resistance lacks the means to drive them off on its own. Aid from the Dalmascan resistance groups may have sufficed. Sadly, even Fran of Lint's Tears has been unable to bring an end to their infighting. All hope is not lost, however, for Lord Hien has made a most intriguing proposal. An idea not my own, I must confess. We have our old friend Gosetsu to thank. As the Empire tightened its grip on Doma, our people were at a crossroads. Would they lay down and surrender, or stand up and fight? Thinking. You sought me out that I could become the spark that lit the fire of rebellion. The same must be done for the Bozjans. They require a standard under which they can rally, a symbol of hope to steel them for what is to come. Lacking a living figurehead such as Lord Hien, my comrades and I looked to our nation's past for inspiration. There we found the answer we sought, Gunhilder's blades. I know a little bit about those. They were the elite guard of Queen Gunhilde, possessed of weapons blessed by the gods. Their exploits would become legend after defending our peoples against the Alligans in the Third Astral Era. The strength of their steel was matched only by their dedication to the Queen. Should one lose their life in her service, their holy blade was then passed on to a successor. In time, their title would lend itself to the most renowned of their weaponry, the gunblade, but in truth, each member of her guard was a master of a unique weapon. Though these sacred relics have been lost to time, I would see them forged anew. Armed thus, our people would know no fear and drive back our oppressors just as Queen Gunhilde did the Alligans. This is also Relic Quest, by the way. An admittedly lofty and otherwise unattainable goal for one such as I, which is why I have traveled far and wide in search of great minds and greater heroes who might lend us their aid. We would be honored to have one of your renown at our side. Renown? Both? We value the Bozjans' commitment to the cause, and I would see their plans come to fruition. Nod. Renown. Got it. Unfortunately, duty demands that I remain here. I could not in good conscience leave knowing the Empire yet threatens the border in Alamigo. Should you choose to accompany him to Bozja, might I ask you to also act as a representative of the Eastern Alliance in my stead? Leave it to me. Determined. Thank you, my friend. If there's aught else you require of the Eastern Alliance, you need only ask. Safe travels to you both. Nod. 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 An airship to our base has been prepared for us at the Enclave's dock. I hope to see you there soon. When you have finished your preparations, meet me at the dock and we can be on our way. So this is connected to the Enclave, huh? I keep forgetting you can use a motorcycle in this location. By the way, Sucro's item level is now 450. And I've also melded material to everything, so I've purchased the most powerful, buyable equipment for the most part, and then melded material to it as well, which is completely unnecessary for the point of the game that I'm at. But, you know. I did it anyway. Our destination is Gangos, the Resistance's present base of operations. To ensure we remain unnoticed by the Empire, this ship is one of the few permitted to travel twixt Doma and the other provinces. Should you have need to travel to Gangos in the future, I ask you come here to do so. Coming aboard, miss. Okay. It's an airship that is also a boat. For water. Sometimes, or at least it can land in water. And it does seem to have oars. I have never been here before. That we should play host to the liberator of Doma and Alamigo herself. I did not think you could be persuaded to help us. Bajsaljan. That name is really difficult to say. Bajsaljan, leader of the Bozjan resistance. Not the best choice for the job, if I'm to be frank, but I will bear the title all the same. Bloody hells, man, you won't inspire much confidence speaking like that. Oh, hey, you. Ah, you're quite right, Master Geralt. While you're here, won't you come and welcome our guest? What in the Seven Hills are you doing here? Eorzea's greatest hero and her finest blacksmith. With the two of you here, our plan is sure to succeed. Would that Queen Gunhilda were here to witness this. So yeah, relic weapons. Always gotta have this guy. The Eureka ones also had this guy, but I didn't really actually do that one. Oi, Sucro, just between us, I'm only here to pay off me debts to that black-hearted snake Rowena. She's been selling supplies to the Resistance, and they happened to mention they were in need of a smithy. So she went and told them I'm the greatest bleeding smithy in the realm, with skills that put Byregot himself to shame. Can't rightly say I'm even half of what she claimed, but I'll do me damnedest. They're happy to ply me with good grub and even better booze, so play along, will ya? Shrug. I mean, you forged multiple legendary weapons for me. And then there's also one that I skipped that might be canon anyway. Now that you're both here, I believe it time our plans be made clear. Misija? Nod. Yes, of course. Our goal is to reforge the weapons wielded by Gunhilder's blades. Simple in principle, less so in execution. Nice hair, Misija. Looks familiar. The weapons themselves and most of the text denoting the history of Her Majesty and her guard were lost to the devastation of the Fourth Umbral Calamity. That said, we have managed to obtain certain pieces of information, and coupled with Master Geralt's knowledge and expertise, we have made great strides in reproducing these vaunted blades of old. We've worked out the manner of weapons they wielded, their shape and weight, even the materials needed for me to forge, but we've learned bugger all about what gives them spirit. Questioning head tilt? It is said Queen Gunhilder etched a holy inscription into each blade, thus granting them the power of the gods. Unfortunately, no records of any such engravings remain, but there is still hope. Though not but pale imitations, there once existed replicas, which may very well have borne these inscriptions. Alas, they were lost when Bozja's citadel fell. Do you know of the Bozja incident? Sounds vaguely familiar, or yes I do, though admittedly I do not recall it in detail. It sounds familiar. A bitter chapter in our history, for it would mark the end of Bozja as we knew it. 15 summers past, the Garleans were conducting experiments, seeking a means to make contact with the Lesser Mood, Dalamud. The Lesser Moon, not Lesser Mood, Dalamud. They believed the satellite to be possessed of immense power, and a lunar transmitter was erected in the hopes of harnessing it. But the transmitter was activated in the signal sent, or when the transmitter was activated in the signal sent, Dalamud responded with an immense blast of raw energy. The destruction wrought defied reckoning. The Citadel, the relics of Queen Gunhilder's kingdom. Naught was left but smoke and ash. Gasp. Hope ain't lost yet, though. The Citadel's been wiped off the bloody map, aye, but there's still a way for us to find those inscriptions, or so I've been told. Ah, gotcha. An explanation better left to one far more knowledgeable than I. Nod. Nod. Looking around. Are you here too? The lady from the Evilise questline? You sure are, aren't you? I thought I remembered your name correctly, but I wasn't entirely sure. Hello, Mikoto. I didn't expect to see you again. The writer's OC that cannot be removed from the video game in any circumstance. 'Tis good to see you again, Sucro, though I had hoped to accomplish more before your arrival. What do you mean correct, actually? Wait, don't tell me your name is, or I'm sure your help will be as invaluable now as it was aboard the Prima Vista. I liked some aspects of her, but also disliked other aspects of her. For example, she was a bit racist, and that's bad. So do we be rude, or do we tell the writer that their character is good and we love them? Where's the neutral response of just, hello, Mikoto? I know who you are, but I don't know if your help was invaluable, and I don't think I should... Whatever. I'm sure you'll be helpful, I guess. You are far too kind. If not for your heroism, Ramza and Alma would have... Oh, it's fine. They're fine. Don't worry about it. As long as Ramza doesn't also show up. From the onset of our endeavor, it was abundantly clear that one versed in aetherology would be essential. We relayed this to the Alliance, who then introduced us to Mikoto. She is said to be one of the most brilliant minds among the students of Baldessian. She is said to be one of the best characters in this game, written by the coolest guy who's ever lived. God. And yet it is my ineptitude that demands your presence here. I was all but certain that Geralt and I alone would suffice in this, alas. Questioning head tilt? Ahem. The matter she speaks of concerns a long-forgotten practice of the holy men who once inhabited these lands. Utilizing uniquely aspected crystals, these seers were able to provide succor for those with ailments of the mind. They possess the ability to shape their very memories, removing those deemed harmful and replacing them, that the patient may find some semblance of peace. Gasp? I too dismissed the notion that such practices could exist. That is, until a recent excavation unearthed compelling evidence of their work. The crystals we believed were used in their healing. Unfortunately, we were unable to discern how they were meant to be used. It was at this juncture that we petitioned for Mikoto's assistance. I don't know if we're going to do a Psychonauts or not. We might. We're going to do a... I'm grumbling about the Evilise writer already because they put Mikoto back in. The writer's OC, this is the writer's OC character of all characters. We're going to do something. I'm not entirely sure what. Mostly we're just talking a lot, which is about what I expected. I'm trying not to be negative or bitter. It's not working. Well, lass, made any progress? My initial analysis suggests the crystals were artificially created at some point in the distant past. The materials used suggest they were most likely produced by the ancestral peoples of this area. What's more, their ethereal signature is strikingly similar to the oscillatory activity of brainwaves, which, when made to resonate with a distinct frequency NRR-type harmonic vibrations of an individual... I've done it again, haven't I? Everyone reacts too much to this. Like, Mikoto... I kind of like how she's so, like, she's got like a bit of hyper-focus going on, but also like the way the writing reacts to her doing that, I don't like. Because everyone's always like, well, she's doing it again. God dang it. Grumble, mumble. Like, be nice to people when they have something they're really interested in. Don't make that a joke. That's my opinion. I think that part of her deserves respect, but also she was a bit racist, is what I remember. She doesn't completely deserve respect, but... yeah, anyway, I think a simpler approach is in order. Every living being is comprised of corporeal ether of the flesh, incorporeal ether of the soul, and the ethereal residue of their memories. Hey, we were just talking about corporeal and incorporeal ether in 5.1. Wow. Were one to be possessed of only corporeal ether, they would be but a walking corpse. Conversely, entities comprised of only incorporeal ether are referred to in layman's terms as ghosts. In either case, they may also retain some of their residual memories. Aye, zombies and ghosts, I follow. These crystals are able to isolate and resonate with the ethereal signature of memories. This allowed the seers to probe the minds of their patients. That's all well and good, lass, but what if their mind ain't what it used to be? Or they was too deep in their cups to remember what you're looking for? Nod. An excellent question, Master Geralt. We are all possessed of two types of memory, explicit and implicit. As their names suggest, explicit memories refer to an active remembrance of previous experiences, while implicit memories are acquired and stored passively. Ah, active and passive skills. Got it. For example, when making a new acquaintance, their appearance will become part of your explicit memory, allowing you to recall that information. Should a great deal of time pass without meeting, however, such recollection can prove difficult. Yet in that moment, your mind also takes record of the sounds and smells of the location, the temperature, and so on. Perhaps a demonstration would better explain this phenomenon. Without a seer? Thankfully, that will not be necessary. Gasp? When I was first told of the seers and their practices, I was immediately reminded of your ability to peer into the past. I guess that's fair. I believe these people were blessed with a similar gift, and it is for that reason that they were chosen to serve as seers. Though I too am possessed of the echo— I forgot she also had the echo. I lack the ability to peer into the past as you do, and thus have been unable to wield the power of these crystals. That's why we called you here. Until now, I could do naught but posit theories. With your help, however, I may now put them to the proof. And you, Master Geralt, shall be my first test subject. Geralt does not like this idea. Geralt very does not like this idea. It would seem. Maybe Mikoto is less racist now. I forget who she was racist against even. I think it was like... I don't remember. Banga? Probably. I think it was Banga. Hey, you can't say Banga aren't normal. They're also normal folk, is the thing. Such is the difficulty with language. I know you meant like she likes not Banga people, but maybe she's better now, I don't know. Sucro, I would like you to recall the last time you experienced the echo. Concentrate on that feeling. Master Geralt, I need you to recall a memory of the past. It may be anything you like. Alright, I love to concentrate on the feeling of having a headache. And thinking about Istinian doing a limit break, I guess. You better not go poking around in there digging up something unsavory like, you hear, lass? Please, Master Geralt, focus. I'm going to think about these crystal. Alright, what terrible Geralt scene are we going to have to look at? Or is Geralt just thinking about the color white right now? Ah. We've been teleported to the past to witness something more directly. Why is Mikoto also here? What? I guess because she has the echo? But also, like, this is most unexpected. For reasons I cannot yet explain, such as being the favorite character OC of the writer, it appears the echo has allowed me to accompany you into his memory. You're a skilled smith, Geralt, there's no denying that, but you hold money about as well as your liquor. Well, what bloody good is money if you can't spend it? A man has to live a little, Rowena. Aye, and it wouldn't hurt for a man to use his head, neither. With all that talent of yours, I reckon you could have amassed a small fortune by now. Could have been you sitting on the syndicate instead of Godbert. Imagine that. That'd be something. As if I'd ever want to be anything like that doddering old half-dressed. You're also not wearing a shirt. You've realized this just now, I see. Didn't realize my memory was so sharp. Oh, you're also here. As you can see, implicit memory is surprisingly comprehensive. From the clear skies and ocean waves down to the exact words of your conversation, everything appears to have been perfectly preserved. You weren't listening to that, were you? Nod. Gasp. Every time someone gives you good advice, you turn around and do the complete sodden opposite. I used to be like that rebellious streak of yours, but now I see you're just a bloody idiot. Or I used to like that rebellious streak, okay. Now I see you're just a bloody idiot. Honestly, I don't know what I ever saw in you. Opportunities for making money, I guess. Whatever you think it is you think you saw, it ain't as if I've changed since then. And ye haven't either. Still as beautiful as the day we met. Oh, hold on a minute. I ain't never said anything like that. I swear on me last mug of ale. Implicit memories, while quite comprehensive, are not always true to fact. In the case of painful or otherwise undesirable experiences, they can be obfuscated to protect oneself from hard truths. Our perception of reality can also distort them as well, even when first committed to the mind. Then as time passes, such distortions can grow. Happy memories become more joyous, sad ones all the more bitter. Explicit memory is particularly sensitive to such misrepresentations of events, for man is wont to remember what is most convenient for his worldview. That is why we seek the implicit, for there we are most like to find the truth. Oh dear. They put a lot of effort into animating this, didn't they? That's kind of fun. Hey, Geralt. The truth? Rowena and me were only here a week ago. Don't tell me my memory's that bleedin' unreliable. A self-imposed delusion, perhaps. As I said before, the mind has ways of concealing painful memories. I've already lost track of why we're learning about this. Because we need to, like, look at the memories of Bozjan heroes or something? I've lost track of the thread here already. I ain't feeling so well, if you'll excuse me. As you can see, these crystals allow us to choose specific points in a person's past to observe at will. Unlike the echo, however, what we see will not always be as it really was. Yet there still remains the matter of finding one who has seen the replica weapons and their inscriptions. Right, that's what we're after, okay. At this present juncture, we might as well be looking for a ghost. I have good news for you. If you tune in to twitch.tv/Boreal Robin, you might find... I can't even jokingly advertise myself. After the Garlean invasion, also there's no point in advertising my URL to people who are here. After the Garlean invasion of Bozja, it was all but cut off from the world. None were allowed in or out, meaning all of its residents, and likely any who may have glimpsed the weapons, died when the Citadel was destroyed. What about soldiers stationed there who were away at the time of the incident? Even if we were able to find them, I doubt they could be persuaded to cooperate. Ah! What the? What? Oh, please, Lord Varus, no! What? Are we seeing, like, the future now? Or... what is this about? You saw it too? My visions, they are not of what has come to pass, but what is yet to be. Oh, okay. Could it be that the crystal allowed us to share my vision as well? Mikoto, Sucro, are you two alright? Did we know she could see the future occasionally before? Did that happen before, or is that new? I think that's new. I don't think that happened before. We did know it. Speaking of memory... Sid Garland, son of the monster behind the Meteor Project. I wish I remembered things. Nod. Come to think of it, Yugiri mentioned that Doma and the Eorzan Alliance have been receiving support from Garland Ironworks. I thought that the company should use such a moniker mere happenstance, but You mean to say Sid Garland owns this company? Nod. The son of Midas Nun Garland lives. I get the feeling you don't like this information. He must be summoned at once. If he was at the Citadel prior to its destruction, it's quite possible he may have seen the replicas. Fate is indeed a cruel mistress, pinning our hopes on a Garlean. The get of that bastard Midas, no less. Is there truly no other way? Bashaljan, please. Very well. I only hope our fallen comrades can forgive us. Please, bring us this Sid Garland for the people of Bozja, for all of Ilsabard. What is with this motion that you're doing? Nod? I feel like that entire sequence was longer than a several cutscenes will play in sequence. But maybe I'm incorrect. Or like it felt like one of those. The son of Midas Nun Garland, an imperial deserter. My, what curious company we keep. Forgive me, is there aught you need? Hey look, I could sit here and listen to 5 extra lore pieces, or whatever. That you should know Sid Garland is hardly surprising. I only hope he's not so engrossed in his work that he cannot find time to assist us. I will not keep you, unless of course there's something you wish to ask me. Oh, okay, there's actually like 8 extra lore pieces. So this is also carried over from the style of writing from the Evil East raids, is that there's like people standing around, or like interactable NPCs standing around that will give you 5 million extra lore words. Our exploration of Master Geralt's memories was a success, largely in part to his trust in you, I suspect. And how fortunate for us that you should also be a good acquaintance of Sid's. I'm sure there's much you must do to prepare, so I will not keep you. Was there something else? Okay, we're up to like, let's see, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many extra things did you have? There's 13 optional lore conversations. Can this writer just like not contain all of the words or edit? I mean, I guess they're, I don't know. Sorry for being so negative. It's just that the same things I had a lot of criticism about, or a lot of negativity to in the Evil East raids, are immediately back in Bozja. And we haven't even gotten anywhere yet, is what it feels like. Reminder that this writer did specifically say that like he didn't like other people interacting with his work or something. Let me double check the He is not personally fond of other team members having input on his narrative work, is the specific wording provided on his Wikipedia page, cited from an article or some sort of interview. I can tell. I'm gonna be right back.
blood.
Hello. The corgis are barking. Blood has the same opacity. It's just that blood is more visible on certain backgrounds, much as a blood stain would be more visible on certain surfaces. I guess? Question mark? Anyway. Hello. Welcome back to the Yasumi Matsuno Work with an Editor Challenge difficulty level impossible. I had to look up the writer's name in order to say that, because I immediately forgot it. Anyway. I do not imagine he sympathizes with our plight, but from what I gather, he has no love for the Empire either. If that will suffice in persuading him to aid us, then so be it. I hear there are engineers stationed at Rogger's Reach. Perhaps you can begin your search for Garland there. So, how is everyone? I don't know why I'm asking, other than I feel like that's more important than me being grumpy about the writer. Say, aren't you Sucro, savior of Eorzea, liberator of Alamigo, and so on and so forth? The name's Lilja, newest recruit to the Ironworks. What can I do for you? Nice shades, Lilja. Oh, I was just asking how is everyone? I guess I'm okay. Is that good or bad? For the weather to feel like June. Also, I don't know why this Ironworks engineer just has shades and metallic red, like a short metallic red skirt. Also boots with a knife, I guess. The chief, too busy by half, according to Jesse. Between you and me, though, I think it's a load of... Oh, do go on. A load of what? I agree that June weather is not good. I just was unsure what your opinion on this matter was. I was saying what a load off your shoulders it must be, knowing the chief is back from whatever he was doing. Speaking of whom, Sucro said she wanted to speak with him about... what was it again? And yeah, I think so. I think that's the style that is being referenced. the fashion subculture. I don't know what all of these words mean. I don't know what you mean by gal design. However, when I search for that exact specific phrase on Google, I am taken to a website where you can buy a framed portrait of a bunny. That's the English translation. Oh, okay. Damn you, WebP. The worst file type, as always. I simply want to show everyone what you can purchase for under $18 if you Google gal design. That is a framed portrait of a bunny. Behold. Perhaps not the best monetary decision, but a good result of Googling something, at least. Bunoi. Anyway. Gods damn it, Lilja. You might hear better than most, but you're a terrible listener. Would you mind starting again from the beginning? The bunny is asking you an important question. Delightful rabbit, funny bunny. This rabbit does look like they have a serious question to ask. But I don't know what it is. Would you mind starting again from the beginning? Explaining. I see. Well, you just missed him. Seireyu's wall is due for maintenance, and he had a mind to oversee it personally. That said, any matters concerning you are top priority. I'll see if I can reach him. Nod. I take it this is an average day for you? Must be hard, always having to put on a brave face as you're thrust into danger, people tugging you this way and that like some sort of errand girl. Questioning head tilt. Not that we don't appreciate what you do for us, goodness knows I do. In fact, well, you see. Okay, so the close-up reveals she also has, like, lipstick and, like, pink streaks in her hair. I didn't notice the hair color streaks before. And I thought I noticed the lipstick, but I wasn't sure. I'm something of a fan. I knew the Ironworks worked with you on occasion, but I didn't think I'd have the chance to meet you in person. Can I shake your hand? Sure, why not? Lilja, Sid being back took a load off my shoulders, not yours. Don't you have work to do? Oh, right, work. Duty calls, but hopefully we'll meet again soon. Wave. There she goes. Chief says he'll meet you at the Doman Enclave. Not the most convenient of locations, but it'll have to do, I'm afraid. Nod. All locations are convenient when you can teleport. One more thing. The Bozja incident is something of a sore spot for the Chief. Even if it was an accident, most people outside of the Empire remember it as a massacre. The Chief tried to put a stop to his father's experiment, but his pleas fell on deaf ears. Even now, he still blames himself for it all. I should have tried harder, he'd say. I could have saved him. I could have saved all of them. All that genius, and the man can't find a way to forgive himself. Sad thinking. So if you're aiming to go digging through his past, be careful. I dread to think what demons he's got locked away in that brain of his. I think we are doing a Psychonauts, but leave it to me. And leave it to Lilja, apparently. Hey, why don't you get your actual name display? Why do you have to be Ironworks engineer forever? That must be rough. I hope not. She's tough as Magitech armor plating when she wants to be, but her heart's in the right place. Shame she's always so busy. As are you, if I'm not mistaken. I won't keep you any longer. Best of luck. Let Lilja have her name. Something about the text, the Bozja incident, and this particular picture of Sid and how it's framed. This Sid picture feels like a reaction image that you would post when you saw a bad take on the internet. Sid has seen a bad take somewhere, I'm sure. That feeling when Bozja, exactly. The Ironworks engineer, you know what? I'm gonna take a screenshot of this and then post that later, maybe. It might be useful. The Ironworks engineer is confused as to why you're still here and not at the Doman Enclave. The chief said he'd be meeting you at the Doman Enclave, didn't he? Well, best not keep him waiting. As much as I enjoy your company, I understand duty calls. Hopefully we'll have the chance to talk another time. Let Lilja have her name display. Be nice to Lilja. She's doing her best. And she's cool. Oh, by the way, there were a couple of Shadowbringers quests, like the unlockable stuff quests that I just did. There's one where you talk to a Fae and they're like, heh heh heh, with my Fae magics, I can make it so that you can see the weather anywhere, wherever you are. Isn't that devious? And you're like, yeah, okay, sure. And then all the Skywatchers can show you weather across worlds. And that's fine, I guess. And then there's also, I also went ahead and unlocked the extreme versions of trials and stuff. There was, in fact, something interesting and worth mentioning in the dialogue for those, which I didn't expect. Let me see if I can find it. I didn't actually save it as an image. The Minstreling Wanderer. Oops, this went into the captions window. Whoop. Captions, you fine? Okay. I'll just read the text. The Minstreling Wanderer, with regard to, oh yeah, also the explanation is the Fae appearing in Skywatcher's dreams to tell them about the weather or something like that. None of them do that, but that does seem very pixie-like. But yeah, when you unlock Hades Extreme, one thing the Minstreling Wanderer, who's not the Wandering Minstrel, just said caught my eye a bit. He says, I must say, I find it quite fascinating how this Emmett Selk chose to reveal his true name on the verge of the battle that would prove to be his downfall. I am reminded that the Knights Blessed have a similar tradition, in which they conceal their true names outside of rare occasions such as funerals. What significance might the act of announcing his true name might have carried for him? Or might the act of announcing his true name have carried for him? A matter to ponder, perhaps, should you wish to fully grasp the nature of your foe, of the shadow to your light. And I think those lines are interesting because I did not make a connection between the Knights Blessed and the Asians and their beliefs about names. Yeah, and also it's that, as you told me earlier when I posted it at you. Yoshi P using his author insert to bring up some subtle writing. That's interesting. I don't know exactly what it means, but it feels like it's an interesting point that I'm going to want to keep in mind. Where's Sid, though? When Sid's not on screen, you should be asking where Sid is. Master Garland? Yes, I've seen him restlessly pacing about the Enclave. If you wait here, I'm sure he'll come by before long. You have a list? Are you keeping a list of things to keep in mind? Hey look, it's Sid. When are they going to update the game so that all NPCs have automatic umbrellas also? Including in cutscenes. It's hard to believe this place was, until recently, occupied by the Garleans. Doma has a long way to go before it regains its former glory, but they're off to a good start. So I've heard, if the Bozjans wish to follow the Doman's lead, I plan to do what I can to help them. In fact, I've already spoken to Lord Hien and agreed to divert part of the Ironworks resources to assist in Doma's reconstruction. The offer seemed to have taken him by surprise, but I assured him that in addition to the Ironworks' commitment to freedom through technology, I have my own reasons to reverse the destruction wrought by the Empire. While it's true that I eventually defected, I played no small part in the development of magitech now used by their military. Sometimes it's the threads you can't see that have the strongest ties. Would that I could cut them. The Empire's sins aren't yours to bear. Or I could say, and how did Lord Hien take this response? But I'm saying the other one. Even so, not a day goes by that I don't think about the part I played in the atrocities they committed. If I could have made my father see reason, there would have been no Bozja incident. But I was powerless to stop him. Sid. Rally emote, first of all. But secondly, I like Sucro just doing the goofy as heck Mikote rally emote and Sid just being like, yes, you're right. Like, in the situation where he's talking about his, like, severe trauma? Sucro? At least I don't think that emote is... It's either rally or psych. And I think it's different for different characters. And I think that's a Mikote one. But, like, that emote doesn't feel like it fits the scene. Yes, you're right. There's a time for wallowing in self-pity and a time for action. I plan to do whatever I can for the Bosjan resistance, but they're up against the 4th Legion. But I was going to say, Sid, you can't blame yourself, especially when you tried to stop it. You might have something to grab onto if you were trying to blame yourself for not trying to stop anything, but you tried, you did what you could, and it still happened. That doesn't make it your fault. If they're to stand a chance, their allies here in the east won't be enough. They're going to need all the help they can muster. I'm not entirely sure what part I'll have to play in all this, and I doubt anything I do now will be enough to atone for my past mistakes. But if it means throwing a spanner in the Empire's works, then count me in. Nod. Sid, are you ready to get psychonautsed? I think I'm going to go into your brain and have a boss fight or something. We're here now. Upon speaking with Mikoto, several cutscenes will play in sequence. Oh no. This warning in a part of the game by this writer will be here for 2 hours. It's recommended you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, we've already been live for over 1 hour and 12 minutes. Imagine if the several cutscenes were all just this with no dialogue and everyone was just like making talking motions at each other for like an hour. What if this whole part of the scene was like there was an editor and there was dialogue, but they just like nuked all of it? And there was just a dialogueless scene leading to this. What if that's what happened? If you are ready, I would begin our exploration. Think back to your time at Bozja's Citadel. You needn't focus on a specific memory if that helps. All right, just promise me you'll be careful in there. Ah, you're marking the time for when the scene is done. Got it. Nod. Well. Hey, you know what else is gonna bug me a little bit about this whole setup? It seems like crystal that lets you go into other people's memories is something that will be potentially extremely useful, or would be potentially extremely useful in some other sort of plot scenario where it could be utilized, but it will not be relevant. Nobody will remember that we have this option because it is not accounted for in other stories. This feels like a very powerful artifact to just throw into somewhere. This is Bozja Citadel, all right? At least I think it is. Was everything so distorted when you tested this before? Your recollection of this place appears grossly incomplete. I can but assume your memory is being warped by your subconscious. Well, I'd rather not stand around laboring over details. Let's look for the transmission tower in the Principia. Anything of import would have been stored there. I mean, you would need Mikoto, but still, did you see that? A military base appeared out of thin air, or out of my mind, I suppose. Did it appear because he mentioned the Principia, I wonder? There's a lot of dialogue here that is on screen for like, what in the world? The road, it just ends. It's on screen for like less time than there is to a consequence of your incomplete memories. You have to think back, Sid. Where did this road lead? This area is very cool looking. I might have looked around anyway, but thank you for telling me that. But also, there's a lot of dialogue already in this part that is on screen for less time than it takes to read it, so I'm glad there's a chat log. And yeah, there is a unique weather. Delirium! Sid, I have bad news about your mind. About your brain weather. Okay, this is a very cool looking area, though. That much is true. This all seems so absurd. Recalling the Citadel shouldn't be so difficult. Try recalling the cityscape, or do you remember where the Imperial troops were heading? Yeah. Try recalling the cityscape. I remember the blue of the cobblestone streets. If not for the occasional military installation, it would have looked like any other city. You remember where the troops were heading? Not specifically, no, but they were on edge. Something to do with the Academy's research. Wait, I remember. As Sid's memory returns, the way forward opens. You've done it, Sid. The road is returned. Also, they didn't add character portraits to this part. We should be able to reach the Principia if we keep heading north. It's been a while since we've seen a scene like this where they didn't add character portraits recently, actually. Look, there's the transmission tower. Site of the Bozja incident. Damn it all, the road is cut off again. Come on, Sid, you have to remember. Can't you just fake memory a road there? Or does that not work? Sorry, Sucro. Try as I might, my mind is drawing a blank. Maybe there's something around here that might jog my memory. A psychological stimulus to prompt recollection. Yes, that just might work. I think Psychonauts would go a lot differently if you brought the person into their own mind as well. Though I guess they kind of are there a lot of the time, but like not in the same way. I don't know a lot about Psychonauts, to be honest. You find the smoldering remains of Magitech armor, no doubt left after a fierce battle. But that's not the important thing. Let us see what we can find. Save for these weapons, there's not to be found here. I sort of recognize that model. I think that's the chromate sword, in fact. I think I used that briefly. You find a pile of well-worn blades and shields, though not of Imperial design. You're right, I think this is the music from the bird also. Or the burn, not bird. I know absolutely nothing at all about Psychonauts 2, and I know a little bit about Psychonauts 1. I think I remember getting the impression that Psychonauts would have been something that upset me, so I didn't play it, or look at it, rather. Hello and welcome. It's been a while, but we're here. I've already complained about the writing a lot, but welcome to this, I guess. Weapons and Magitech armor? Right, the fighting had already started, and I was... Well done, Sid. Let us press onward. This area is very cool looking, but the writing is very, oh, this is the same writer as Evilise, like 100,000% obviously. Like, for example, Mikoto is here. The tension in the air is palpable. It's like the soundtrack has changed to the one where Emperor Varus is doing something. Alright, the soldiers were on high alert that day. The Bozjan resistance had infiltrated the Citadel to stop the Academy's experiments. There they go. Do you suppose it's possible we can tamper with this memory? A curious question, one I believe worth investigating. Shall we? Yeah, Garlean theme for sure. Okay, I also like... I like how the soldiers in the memory don't react to us attacking them, except for the part where they, like, die. Like, they don't turn around to attack us at all. And then they're back. I see. I see, says Sid. So there is interesting stuff in here. I really like the area here. The memory appears to be mending itself. Interesting. But also the writing. Altering memories is easier said than done, it seems. Well, let's keep going. You know the price for insurrection? No, please. Yeah, Mikoto was from the Evilise raids. Here we are, the Principia. Inside is the transmission tower. Whoop. Sid? What in the seven hells are these? Sid? Could they be a manifestation of your subconscious? If so, they likely seek to suppress your memories of the Citadel, meaning they intend to purge us from your mind. We cannot let them. Defeat the antibodies. Yes, this is how brain works. But yeah, Mikoto is the Charlian from the Evilise raids. Is there no end to them? We have to hold on lest they succeed in erasing us from Sid's mind. It's fine, I'm Tank. That sound of an attack hitting too many enemies at the same time. Still good. My reaction to Mikoto being here again was a little bit, oh no. Curious that we could defeat these, but not the soldiers earlier, perhaps because they are not truly part of this memory? We can worry about that later. Come on, we're nearly to the tower. But yeah, like, seeing Mikoto again was like, oh no, it's the writer's OC, was my immediate thought. Because she is extremely that. The OC insert of this writer for this game. Just a little further. She doesn't seem to be doing any racism this time. But she did already do the... They did already do the bit where she's very excited and hyper-focused and explaining something. And then, like, everyone reacts to it negatively, which is... I think she deserves more respect for that particular part of her, yeah. I don't particularly like the writing playing that sort of behavior as a joke and something to be disliked, I guess. Bahamut, this has to be another attempt by your subconscious to stop us. Please, Sid, you have to pull yourself together. Are you sure I'm not suffering from a sudden onset of psychosis? Altered Bahamut, by the way. I hope I adequately explained any of that while this was happening. We have no choice but to fight, otherwise his subconscious will continue to repress this memory. Ah, I can't move. It seems to be having an adverse effect on Sid's psyche. Quickly, Sucro, we have to stop it. I was too in the middle of, like, having a different thought to, like, react to answers playing. I guess. Sorry. Oh, it feels tacky? Hmm. I mean, it makes sense for it to be here, I think. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Oh. Like, I feel like it kind of makes sense, but I don't think I have a strong opinion on. Careful, I like not the looks of this. I don't think I have a strong opinion on it either way. Oh no, could this be psyche deteriorating? Sucro, look out! Yes, this is how mind works. It's kind of a neat fight. It's not a nothing fight. Yeah. Okay, I wish you could see through the Bahamut's easier. That's a criticism I have of this fight design, I guess. Ah. And then Bahamut spun around and shot fire in a circle. For some reason. It was very telegraphed. Also Giga Flare. More like pitted flare, like pitiful. Anyway, go away, Bahamut. Thank you, I feel better now. No exclusion zone that keeps you running from running. They have a... Oh, can you normally not run through them? Huh. Is that Sid? Do you recall this happening? Father was so angry that day. Have we seen Sid's father ever before? Father, please, if you just look over this data. No, I hate data. Enough, damn you. The next time you question me, it shall be the last. Now leave. You of all people should understand the risks. Why do you refuse to see reason? I didn't try to... I didn't notice that about the rotating moves, I guess. It's rather unlike him to overlook data, no matter the source. Hey, that looks fucked up in there in the distance. Look here, he left behind his research documentation. Whatever's happening in the distance over there looks a little bit, potentially evil science, maybe. No, I hate data. Meh. You pick up the research documents and find page after page of meticulous calculations and observational data on Dalamud. Young Sid posits that the Lesser Moon may very well possess the ability to harness and manipulate solar power. Moreover, the vast stores of energy it has amassed over the millennia, should they be unleashed, would far exceed any parameters the transmission tower may have been designed to withstand. By the gods, this data, the Empire would invite a calamity. So many sleepless nights spent on those damn papers, all for nothing. Mikoto, they did, basically. If my suspicions are correct, then he was already... Never mind, let us press on. The truth awaits us. Didn't they literally do that? Didn't they literally do the calamity? What's going on over there, though? There they are, the replicas of Gunhilder's blades. Wait, why? Why are they floating in evil science tanks? Wait, are the weapons alive? I mean, I guess the anima weapon was. I guess that's... Oh my god, they're cloning the swords! I like that as an explanation. That's funny to me. Are the weapons alive? I guess so. Maybe. I don't remember if that was established already. I feel lost amid the sea of words. Know your place, whelp. The Meteor Project cannot and will not be stopped. Certainly not by the likes of you. Oh, that was your assumption. Okay. Oh yeah, Solace, right. Wait. No, this is wrong. Emperor Solace couldn't have been there. Can we get a close-up on that ridiculous Ramu beard that Solace has right now? Hello? And wait, just so I'm not... Yeah, like, why did Emmett have that beard at one point? I was like, Solace was Emmett, right? Like, for a brief second, Sid, you got shot by your own memory. That is what it feels like sometimes, like, though. So, like, you know, fair, honestly. No, please, Lord Varus, no! I briefly questioned whether Solace was Emmett Selk because the sight of that beard made me doubt everything. Sid, you mustn't forget, this is only a memory. Like, I know that Emmett Selk was Solace, but the idea of Emmett Selk having that beard was so unexpected that I immediately questioned the knowledge that I had, if that makes any sense. Do we not get a closer look at that at any point? Sid Garland, bringer of ruin, herald of ash, your father must be proud. There's art of it, but we don't actually see it ever? Or something? How does it feel to know such calamity follows in your wake, that your failings bring death to all you hold dear? There should be a revolver shield tank class, IMO. Elsewhere in Realm Reborn in one scene. I don't remember it. Not in saying words. Lily is barking in the distance. And now you would set this filth against me. Very well. I will glow. I will do oppose. But one fate awaits those who oppose the will of the Empire. This trauma is too much. He's lost control. But this memory is false, Sucro. Perhaps you can alter it with the echo. Think of your truest friends or your strongest allies. Those are the same thing. Think of your truest friends. Sid, remember me in a giant robot with laser cannons. That would help, I think. Oh wait, no, this is me thinking of my truest friends. Oh, cool. Oh, this rules actually. I'm assuming both answers would result the same, or have the same result. That was always your greatest strength, instilling in others the courage to rise up, the courage to fight for what's right. Varys shouldn't be here? Let me also just say that every single time I see Emperor Varys, I can only think of that one dream I had where he got a sponsorship deal with like a fast food place and was really bad at it. And then I made an image of him standing in front of a 7-Eleven. Because I'm ridiculous like that, you know? So every time I hear the Garlean theme or see Emperor Varys, I just think about this picture. Because I also made a brief video that was this picture with the Garlean theme playing for 14 seconds. If you've ever seen the Twitter account of Piccolo going to Burger King, where the only thing they post is a picture of a Piccolo cosplayer in front of Burger King, or maybe it's, is it Piccolo? I think it's Piccolo. In front of a Burger King with what I presume to be Piccolo's theme playing. The 7th 11 Legion. God. Hold on. I'm going to see if I can locate my... While Sid is over here doing whatever he's doing, being sad, I'm going to, like, go to my own Twitter and search for Varys to find the exact text of the tweet. December 17th, 2022. I had a dream that Final Fantasy XIV's Garlemald got some kind of sponsorship deal with gas station food. It was basically Emperor Varys looking at a breakfast sandwich and saying, "Buy this egg!" or angrily yelling, "You will bring me the last muffin." So, I think of that every time I see Varys or hear that theme now. Buy this egg. Very Wesker sort of things. Hashtag buy this egg. God. I should draw Emperor Varys staring at an egg or something, maybe. The courage to fight for what's right, though. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I will do. Eggs can't learn any moves. Are you telling me that they did, in fact, program duty support for a trial once? It looks like they freaking did that. How many people we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, this is an 8-person trial, but duty support. They can do it. It is possible. They've only done it this one time so far. Fascinating. So... am I correct in assuming that this is the specific part of the whole Bozja process that you thought was worth showing? Or like you thought I should look at and show? Not necessarily worth showing. I don't mean to like throw the rest of it under the bus, but this is what you wanted me to see, is what I mean. Well, yeah, they don't show up on the party list, so... But still, it does seem feasible. This is cool. The event and the fight. The Meteor Project cannot be stopped. I will not allow it. I'm really interested in noticing like what everyone is doing specifically. Like Thancred is moving over here as you would a tank, as you would as the tank, like I did. Everyone else is sort of clustered together, but there's no reason for them to not be. Everyone moves out of the way.
I will not hold back.
Yeah, Thancred stole my aggro. Taste my steel. Actually, hey Thancred. Fuck you, Thancred. Provoke. Lamau. Keep your distance. Oh. This is inside Sid's mind, and
Keep your guard up.
Mikoto suggested that, careful of his blade, that okay, I really like how his AoE goes outside of the arena. That's a funny visual touch.
It's going to leave a mark.
Yeah, Mikoto's like, maybe you can use the echo to alter the memory. So I was prompted and I chose to think of my truest friends, and then everyone is here. Just like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
I shall protect you.
I messed up my rotation. Did Provoke actually work, by the way? Also, there is an extreme version of this fight. Either Provoke doesn't work, or Thancred stole the aggro back. Thancred did steal the aggro back. Thancred must be programmed to have, like, enmity plus 10 million. Oh. Okay, I don't think Varus does this normally. I don't think Varus can do that. You dare defy me? Sucro, a little help if you'd be so kind. Oh shit. By thy leave. Yo, what? Piteous worms, there will be naught left of you but ash. Oh shit, this rules actually. Now drive it back. Quickly, my barrier shan't hold long. It's like the Susano parry, but like you're also, but everyone is doing it. This is only a tank thing? If you're not the tank, you don't, do you do something else? I thought to offer you a quick, painless death, alas. Varus, why can't I target you? Help. Okay, it's because my weapon was sheathed. So everyone else attacks and the tanks spare. That's really cool that I'm glad I happened to be a tank then. He would turn the very air against us. Have care, Sucro. Sucro's very good at imagining all of her friends and exactly how they would behave. I will mount your heads upon my wall. Yeah, saying no to knockback is fun. Oh, the eagle-eyed and animal with a good memoried of viewer may remember. I guess eagle-eyed and elephant memoried or something. I should make that a phrase. It's really strange. Anyway, might notice that I've actually shuffled around a few of my buttons a tiny bit, but probably nobody noticed this. Because I forgot to even mention it. The Empire must not. I shuffled around eagle-brained and elephant-eyed. Yeah, that's right. I shuffled around a little, my buttons a little bit. I just thought to mention it. I can't really talk about it in more detail until I have my buttons again. But I just remembered I just remembered I did that. This isn't right either. Emperor, Lord Varus, he wasn't there. The Academy was given full charge of the project. Hotbar revision, very slight, but I'll talk about it when I get there. Questioning head told? Though these events are as you remember them, this is not the truth. Not entirely. Whoever this is, your mind has been trying to protect you from them. Your mind invented a sick-ass boss fight. Sick-ass? Kick-ass? Both? Maybe? Anyway, time to do it again. I guess. Phase 2, Varus has a gun. Whoop! The way they portray all this memory stuff is very interesting. I'll give them that. How you've rewound. Okay, this whole, like, this specific entire instance is really interesting and cool. But the overall writing is still bad. Well, if it isn't Varus, then who the hell is it? What could I possibly have to hide from myself? It's your father. I see. So it was you who pulled the trigger, father. Yeesh. Sid, look, his eyes! What's that mean? What does that mean? Does that mean anything? Oh wait, are you tempered by Bahamut or something? No, it can't be. Sucro saying words. Yeah, that is something that Gaius says in Praetorium. If contact with Dalamud was able to stir Bahamut to consciousness, it stands to reason that Dreadworm discovered a way to link to the tower and thereby enslave your father. Ah, he was tempered by Bahamut, I see. That makes a lot of sense. In which case, there was nothing that could be done for him. There's no arguing or reasoning with such individuals. There's only the will of the primal. I often complain about my memory, but I can at least be like, oh, that's Bahamut tempering, before they actually explicitly spell that out, and I feel like, yeah, I got a point. The feeling of getting a memory point. Or whatever, I guess. Memory point score board, +1. And if Bahamut was controlling your father at the time of the accident, then Bahamut's a huge jerk! Wow! Then in all likelihood it wasn't an accident. Nod. Nod. And so the truth finally comes to light. Unfortunately, I do not know the Dynamite Heady voice. If I were Sid in this situation, I would take this opportunity to, like, punch evil memory father in the face. Though it might not work. I am still wondering if all of these scenes where people are talking and there's no shown dialogue had dialogue and then all of the dialogue was cut. Or if this is just a stylistic choice that has been made for this portion of the game. It's interesting, but also my opinion of the writer leads me to believe that it's entirely possible that it was a whole bunch of cut dialogue, which is very funny to consider as a possibility. I mean, yeah. Evil Memory Father is basically an extension of the will of Bahamut by this point, so it's still sort of like we're punching Bahamut. Also, Bahamut wasn't there to punch. Well, we already punched Bahamut, actually, in the memory, so... Bahamut's thrall, and no one was the wiser, not even your own son. Amulet. You crazy bastards did it! Once Mikoto's described the inscriptions to me, I'll have those weapons forged in no time. On behalf of the Bozjan resistance, you have my deepest thanks. It is a good story beat. It is a good story beat for Sid specifically, too. I'm just glad I could help. Ever since that fateful day, the truth of what befell our loved ones had eluded us. I held the Empire and your father responsible for their part in the tragedy, and for many years that hatred was all that kept me going. Indeed, I was blinded by that hatred, so much so that even you appeared to me as an enemy. I could not see this blood, sweat, and tears you have poured into bettering the lives of those seeking freedom from the Empire. I could see only a Garlean, and for that I am sorry. If you can forgive me, let us be allies united against a common foe. Come now, I'm the one who should apologize to you. After all my father and the Empire did, even if not all of their own volition, their crimes will never be forgotten. I'd hazard even victory over the Empire won't be enough to ease such pain, and even now I know the truth behind the Bozja incident. All it's done is make me question the choices that led me here to this moment. But regardless of the past, we have to keep pressing forward one step at a time for freedom. That Hrothgar has like Corel tendrils in the shape of a mustache. I'm pretty certain. Just as the heroes of Eld would have done, we Bozjans grew up on such tales of peerless warriors, pure of heart and unwavering in their conviction. Yet here we are, so full of doubt and uncertainty. Will we ever earn our place in the pages of history? Cheer up, Bashsaljan. If we live long enough, perhaps we'll be the ones to pen them. Ha 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 ha. You say the crystal focus is no longer responsive. You say the potentially extremely vital or, hey, why aren't we using this plot device, is now not working. Well, that's convenient, isn't it? It would appear what stores of ether resided within it have been depleted. I did not expect our exploration of your mind to be such a taxing endeavor. We psychicked too much, yeah. Once I identify its etheric affinity and a power source with a compliant energy frequency, I am confident its reserves can be replenished. I joke about the incredibly potentially useful plot device being, like, removed from the equation preemptively. But, like, honestly, establishing... That would have been more true if it were, like, permanently removed, but establishing that it can be recharged almost sort of balances it out to like, oh, it's a very useful thing, but like it has a limit. So that sort of negates some of my concern with this item that they're never going to revisit because it's locked to Bozja and Mikoto needs to be around. But, you know, still. I thought perhaps the Alliance could use it to extract information from some of their less cooperative Garlean captives, but nothing's ever that easy, is it? Oh, even Sid is being like, hey, we could freaking use this elsewhere in the game. Oh, never mind. That's very funny. I'm afraid etherology is beyond the scope of my expertise, so I'll leave the rest to you. If you need anything, don't hesitate to call for me. It does some things that the Echo doesn't already do, sort of. I mean, the Echo wouldn't have let us have a cool boss fight. Or, like, explore memory actively. It's sort of like, the Echo is sort of like passive, and this is more active. Wait, okay, you're right. That's true. But it was still from Istinian's perspective. Like, we did a cool boss fight as Istinian. And I guess we technically relived it, according to Kryl. But, like, this is sort of like an active exploration of a memory from the perspective of the person who the memory is from, but they're looking back at it as who they are now. And also, the memories are edited and, like, different from what actually happened, whereas the Echo is purely the truth. And also, like, this allows multiple people to explore a memory. So, I was saying that because of what you said. But, yeah. So, like, there are some differences from the Echo, and this could be interesting to, like, re-explore as long as it's not something that exists in any context where it makes me go, why can't we just solve it with this obvious solution, this very powerful artifact that's been established, but we're not going to use again? which is the main thing. It's sort of like when you add time travel to a story and then like there's a bunch of problems that could be solved with time travel. And they did add time travel, but they also made time travel only work in a very limited capacity. So that's good. But anyway. Also, you could argue that this and the Echo are to some degree also time travel, if you consider memories that way. If you want to be very technical about it. Or not technical, but like very... If you want to be a little bit abstract about it, I don't know. If the Echo worked more like this, that could be interesting too. But anyway. Thank you for all your help, Master Sid. Well, I'd better head back. I have a mountain of work waiting for me. Yeah. Before you go... If you ever feel lost, you can always talk to me. Of course, if I run into any ether-related problems, you'll be the first to know. I don't think that's what she meant, Sid. I think she meant with the whole exploring the memories thing. Right, I really must get to work on the crystal focus. Did the writer's OC just get a crush on Sid Garland suddenly? Out of nowhere? Or is she just very concerned about him and his trauma? Who can say? Everything is at last in place to begin work on the weapons of Queen Gunhilda's guard. Master Geralt will be able to apprise you of any further progress in their forging. In the meantime, we will begin preparations for battle. I look forward to seeing you on the front lines. They do bring it up later? Okay. Attuning to all Ethernet shards in the Doman Enclave will now unlock Gangos as an Ethernet destination. Oh, that's actually really helpful compared to the Eureka shenanigans. Oh, I guess all the... Meanwhile, at Valnain in Dalmasca... Oh, the sequence of cutscenes ended at some point, by the way, I guess. Though we're seeing more of them, though it's separated. Wow, cool boxes. Meninius rem lenatus. They're not done until this is done? Okay. Very well. Our spies at the Gangos encampment have confirmed work on the Blades of Gunhilda is underway. They are welcome to them. Who has need of such trinkets when the Lady of Blades will soon be in play? Says Noah van Gabranth. Hey look, it's Gabranth from Final Fantasy XII. And yeah, they were in the Evilise raids. We will proceed as planned. When their forces reach Bozja, you know what must be done. We will deploy the math robot again. Understood. I don't know if both of these people were there, but Gabranth was probably there. The Empire is fated to fall, but in its place a new nation shall rise, grander and mightier than anything the Garleans could ever have dreamed. With more math. And it shall be made possible by the very power they abhor. Math. It's just funny to imagine that it's math all the time, since it was mentioned that they excavated the math robot. It's the same writer, so like, of course it's the Evilise raids. On the Edge of Memory. Save the Queen, chapter the first. What, you get your own title cards too? Yeah, alright, whatever. Whatever, I guess. I got the achievement Sidception. You also get a contemporary at the time film Inception reference joke. You? It wasn't contemporary at the time? Oh, I mentioned I swapped some of my buttons around. All I really did was like, so over here on L2, I had the invincibility over here for some reason. I was like, wait, why is that over there? It should be with my other single target mitigation. And I also shuffled Bulwark to this. So like, this is the single target mitigation quadrant. And arm's length is there. And these are the stuns. Shield bash was like way over here because I never use it. John Bacon Bread? What? But then like the multi-target, and similarly reprisal was like over here, but that's a multi-target mitigation. So I put it with Passage of Arms and Divine Veil. And then I also put intervention over here because it is in the same spot as Holy Sheltron, which is because intervention is the other person Sheltron. So it's a parallel sort of thing. And then cover is next to it because it's like a special case other person intervention, Sheltron, whatever. This is some insight onto how my bars are set up, I guess. At least a little bit. They removed a quest step where you have to get this guy some bacon bread? Huh. The cutscenes and the instances, I guess. Yeah, 46 minutes is a lot. So this is the extreme, you said. I can't believe they actually edited something out. I got the feeling you meant to text-to-speech that. Sucro, my, that I should find you here of all places, though I suppose that's only right considering I wrote this part. My well of inspiration is run dry, you see, and it's my hope that a change of scenery might offer the impetus to make 1 million more words. And time again, you have proven a knack for finding fascinating locales that I designed, with equally fascinating stories that I wrote unfolding soon after. When such a tale finally does unfold, I should very much like to hear it, because I love to hear my own work being read. Anyway. Battle fought in the mind of a dear companion. How thrilling, how compelling. Please tell me more. You can tell that I have low opinions of this NPC and also the writing. I apologize, but also it might be funny instead of being something I need to apologize for, question mark? I don't know. A specter of the late Emperor Varus, I suppose even a figment of one's memory, assuming sufficient creative liberties are taken, can prove as fearsome as a man of flesh and blood. Admittedly, I cannot claim to have witnessed his prowess firsthand, but who has not heard tales of his savagery, his unparalleled might? Yes, I do believe inspiration has struck, my friend. The brutal battle of words, which preceded a nightmarish clash twixt the Emperor and the realm's great liberator. You would dare approach me thus? Lord Varus scoffed. Where men of greater strength and mind would both flee, you dare to commit such folly? You're approaching me? And then Sid is like, I can't beat the shit out of you without getting closer, right? To which the Liberator coolly replied, how else am I to smite thee save... You are actually doing the JoJo joke! Slams my fists on my desk. You're actually doing the joke! I didn't expect this. I started doing the joke and then you did the joke. What's happening?
Whoa.
Yeah, I agree, Barry. I can't believe this. I have mixed opinions about everything. An admirable attempt, an admirable attempt, if I were still learning my letters, perhaps. It seems my prose yet wants for inspiration. Might you humor me with a more detailed account of your confrontation? I require a more vivid picture if I am to do justice to your deeds. Memoria Misera Extreme. Idols earned here can be exchanged for gear and other items in Revenant's Toll. That's how you upgrade the Shadowbringers artifact armor. You could ask to hear a story, but I'm afraid of what that would result in. The Holy Blade saved the Queen. Okay, we have another lore dispensing man. And you there. Ready to get working on the resistance weapons, lass? Please note that upon completing the quest Fire in the Forge, you will receive a resistance weapon. So, that was the part of Bozja, that whole trial was the part of Bozja that was like the main thing that was cool to see, I guess. But as this is a bonus stream, I think I'm actually just going to keep going and keep seeing what happens. Because, like, I want to actually get to the actual, like, gameplay region of the Bozjan front and have that unlocked so I can, like, see if that's interesting to me. Eureka did not grab my attention. Bozja, I don't know. But there is a cool sword at the end of it. And there's, like, a cool coat somewhere that might be a direct reference to, like, Final Fantasy 12 or something, actually. Because at least one of the armor sets is just an armor set that is in 12. Or like an outfit that's in 12. And I only know this because I was like, what music should I play before the stream today? Let me look up Final Fantasy 12 music. And then one of them had a video of someone wearing an outfit that I was like, hey, that's one of the armor sets. It's the one that I don't like. That's funny. Anyway. Question marks? You like the name Resistance Weapon? It crossed me mind to call him Gunhilder's Blades, but after talking with Misijel, we figured it'd be too confusing, seeing as that's also the name of the Queen's Guard. Any road, your timing couldn't be better. Before we get to working in earnest, I was hoping you could tell me a bit more about what went on in Sid's noggin. Can't use Callie? What do you mean?
What?
When you say ugly coat of fending, do you mean like the one that's actually a coat? Because that's the one...
This is Callie.
You couldn't enter. Interesting. I don't know why that would be. The actual coat is the one that I'm slightly interested in because I do like coats. The other one is like a weird vest thing that has like... That's like got a giant like belly button window or something. So it goes against everything I stand for or whatever. i.e. I don't like it. But anyway. Ah, I see. Yeah, the coat is the one that might be okay, but I'm not sure because I need to try it. I've heard a fair bit from Mikoto, but I'd like to know if you saw any different.
It is time for the Bozja bonus stream to enter the double Bozja bonus bonanza.
Bozja? That's almost a Super Mario RPG. Boss. Sounds like I was right to ask you before setting to work. Seems to me those fancy markings in the weapons are mainly for show. I can copy them, but that won't be enough. Like as not, they were carved into the hilts as well. And to make sure the spell can take hold, you need to finish with fine powder what's conductive to ether. For material like that, I'd reckon you need to consult the alchemists at Rod's at hand. I can only think of one person with close contacts there. Rowena, or oh gods, you don't mean... Ah, I see. Weird Twitch problem. It's always Rowena. Aye, the demonessa coin. But not to worry, lass, it just so happens she's been keeping up a steady shipment of supplies here on contract. If we say we need the powder for the resistance, might be as we can convince her to waive the costs. Gasp. She ain't usually one to do business for charity, I know, but it's worth a try, eh? I'll see about getting in touch with her, and after I do, you can go and meet with her and figure out the rest. Questioning head tilt? Hey, you don't expect me to go and meet with her, do ya? Working on the resistance weapons kept me too busy by half, and Drake here, What was your name again? Latan, Master Geralt. My name is Latan, but more importantly, what if Mistress Rowena doesn't agree to a charitable contribution to our cause? I'm sure you and Bozjan ask her nicely. She might come round, but never mind that, we have important work to do. As for where to find Rowena, before she left Gangos, she said she'd be stopping over in Kugane on business. How's about I have her meet you at the Umaneko tea house? If we're lucky, a nice cup of tea will brighten her mood. I figure showing at least some of this, like, on a stream is also a good way to, like I showed the end of the Anima Weapon questline. But this is also, like, an interesting way to be like, this is what relic weapon grinds are kind of like sometimes in this game, if you haven't seen them. Or, like, the quests surrounding them, at least. So, it's like, there's not, it's fine to show a little bit of it. I will not be showing Eureka at any point though, probably. But first, BRB. Hello, I am here again. Yeah, there's a new graphic over there because I thought Sucro looking back and forth was funny. I accidentally got a picture of her looking at the camera, and it was such a way that it reminded me of memes. And as such, I completed the meme, and then I made a GIF out of it. Specifically, this image is what I was reminded of. This feels like an appropriate expression of my concern and uncertainty with regard to how much I will be crying in 5.x, which I expect to be a lot. Anyway, hey, this has nothing to do with anything, but it's on my mind, so I'm gonna ask about it. What should I be doing with the VIP rule for Twitch chat? Like, I've somewhat arbitrarily given it out to like a couple people who are both here according to my Twitch list. And if I remember correctly, both of you are people who have given me money, and also I like seeing you show up in chat and comment on stuff. But like, the problem with these qualifiers is that there are yet more people who have given me money and that I also like seeing in chat. But also, like, people who are giving me money are marked with other icons as well. And I don't want anyone to feel bad for not having the funny gem icon, so should I just, like, not use it for anybody ever? Should I just, like, not use this feature? That's sort of one of my conclusions that I've come to, is that, like, it's not distinguishing anything specific, and I don't want anyone to feel like they are lesser in any way, so maybe I should just remove it? But I figure I should ask, well, the people I've already marked as VIP are actually here, in case they have any strong opinions on this subject. Otherwise, I'll just end up... otherwise I'll just end up marking everybody as VIP, because I like seeing all of the regulars. So what do I do about this? Let me go to the creator dashboard. I mean, like, to be not at all secretive about anything. For example, Vorpy, you have apparently been a subscriber for 24 months, and I do like seeing you in chat. So, like, you could be one as well. But, like, as I said, I like seeing everyone who's a regular in chat. So I'll just end up throwing VIPs everywhere forever. And I feel like that's also meaningless. So I kind of feel like... Yeah, like, that seems reasonable as a thing, too. Like, I've given you VIP because I liked seeing you in chat. You're a regular, and also you've sent money at some point, from what I remember. So, like, if you wouldn't feel bad about me taking away the status, I think it might be better to not have it, not like use it at all. Because unless it's actually serving a function or denoting something specific, I feel like it's not really necessary. I mean, I wouldn't, like, beat yourself up. Like, you've been a little excited about spoilers, but you've learned about not saying as many spoilers, I guess. But yeah, like if no one is opposed to the idea of there not being any VIPs, I think I'll just like remove the status from the people that have it and then not use it for anything. All right. Because, oh, I can mark people as artists and editors too, apparently. The shiny diamonds have been removed. There are still a number of people who are moderators, of course. Moderators are like close personal friends who I trust with the task of moderation. So that makes sense. At some point, I might need to consider adding other mods too. There's trustworthy people around that I think could do a good job of moderation. But at present, due to being such a small streamer, I have more mods than I need, honestly. All right. Thanks for helping out, everyone. I felt that needed to be discussed with people, rather than just arbitrarily decided on my own. Was there anything else that was like Twitch housekeeping related? I added goals to the stream because it told me to. You can see that I have a subscriber goal and a follower goal if you look below the stream. I considered putting those on the screen, but they didn't really fit anywhere, and also I don't like having those on this screen as much. Like there's a space between the captions and me where I could put like a subscription goal or whatever. I don't think there's anything else I meant to, but yeah, I did fully upgrade my equipment. I meant to bring that up again if anyone had missed it, but I have a full set of Diadocos high quality with materia melded into it. I don't have the ornate version of the jacket, but I don't know if that means anything. Because the ornate version says advanced materia melding is forbidden, and I don't know what that actually really means compared to what I have now. Like, I don't think I could meld more materia onto this, and I think advanced materia melding is like melding past the slots that are on it. Maybe you can, maybe I could meld more. I actually don't know how that works, basically, but 6.0 set was classical Greco-Roman, 6.2 was Renascita, was Renaissance. But these are like advanced materia melding slots, I think. And then ornate has like 5 regular or something instead. So you can use like more materia, but it's lesser materia. Am I getting that correct? Diadocus is modern and means successor or heir. Oh, that's neat. That is cool. So do you think the 6.5 crafted set will be like futuristic or something? I never thought about that. Sucro is going to sit here and wait. I was wondering when you showed up. Geralt told me everything. Oh, you think so? Interesting. And luckily for you, my business here was at the Thavnarian consulate. Here you are. This should be enough powder for one of those resistance weapons you're forging. I've got to hand it to Geralt. Seems he spends half his time getting deeper in debt and the other half avoiding payment. Fine by me, though. Thanks to his scheming, I have a little more leverage over the Resistance, and by extension, him as well. Evil laughter. Pass along a message to Geralt and Bad Seljan for me, won't you? If they require more material for these weapons, I'd be more than happy to supply them, for a fee, of course. Same goes for you. I know you adventuring types are always looking to be prepared for any sort of encounter. So if you're thinking of forging another of these resistance weapons, and I suspect you are, you know where to go. I'll see to it my girls in Revenant's Toll and Noodleshire keep their shelves stocked. Until next time. Rowena casually being like, heh heh heh, I have more leverage over the resistance faction that's fighting a super important war. And I'm just like, Each crafted set lasts 2 patches. I see. Interesting. I'd forgotten about the details of how that works typically. But yeah, at eye level 640 with melded gear, I don't think I'll have any problems for like the rest of the game that currently exists. Unless I start trying Savage raids, which is highly unlikely. Right, I forgot that I could just use an Aetherite to go there. I see. I only sort of understand that because I've got, since these are all advanced melding slots, I guess that's why I'm allowed to have Materia X in all of them. I think. Oh, only a crafter can do advanced melding. So I could theoretically meld more materia into this armor, but it would be risky, is what you're saying. Like if I had crafting power or knew someone who did. Oh, those are in the non-advanced. I thought they were advanced for some reason. Because the grade X said like can't be added past first advanced slot, but I could add 2, so I thought they were, I got confused. It feels like it's a confusing system that isn't very clear about what it means. Maybe it's just me though. The weapon's nearly finished, Sucro. Just needs a nice coating with that powder to finish the inscription. A fine powder blended in the Near Eastern island nation of Radzat Han, designed to promote ethereal conductivity. You know, Radzat Han keeps coming up in these relic weapon quests, like it's been there a few times. It's gonna be very funny if like the Endwalker relic quest does not involve Radzat Han at all, even though you can actually go there now. Because I think that is one of the places that you go in Endwalker, along with Charlian and the Moon. But yeah, of course she bloody found what we needed. As much as I hate fattening her purse with another man's coin, at least now we can do our part for the resistance. I see. I'd heard pentamelding, but mostly in the context of like gathering and crafting sets, I think. The realm's greatest alchemists, the Moonmen. See, hey, this is a pretty neat looking sword and shield, I guess. Feast your eyes on some of me finest work to date. Best of all, the inscription will react to your ether. A right fine sword and shield to rally the Bozjans, honor bound and tenacity. I reckon Gunhilder'd be proud. If the shield called Tenacity does not have a high tenacity stat, I'm gonna make a funny face. That I should behold the glory of the fabled blades born anew, hope is not yet lost. All in a day's work for your old pal Geralt. Of course, this is only the beginning. Nod. Your skills with the hammer were truly a sight to behold, Master Geralt, and to see Sucro wielding one of the holy blades thus, it is as if I stand before one of the heroes of Eld. I'm a cat. When the time comes to do battle with the Empire, our brothers in arms will look upon you and know courage. On behalf of the Bozjan resistance, I offer you my humblest thanks for your aid thus far. My first impression of this sword and shield is that it actually really matches my armor, which is funny. I'd love to start fresh in another weapon, but I had to use every last morsel of the powder on that one. Meaning we could find ourselves indebted further to Mistress Rowena were we to acquire more. I must consult Bozjan before we proceed further. The idea of enlisting alchemists from the moon to help makes me imagine, like, Loporit relic weapons, which sounds incredible. I want a sword of the moon bunny, parentheses, not Tsukiyomi. Sort of moon bunny that's good, and there's a lot of them, instead of the evil one that there's a single one of, that is a primal. Looks like we're taking a short break then, eh? If you find yourself wanting for another weapon though, come and speak with me helper here. Excalibunny, exactly. Nod, nod. I think I've earned myself a nice big flagon of ale tonight, to celebrate the fortune, of course. Smile, nod. Honor bound. Okay, it does have tenacity as one of its higher stats, but it's not the highest. Speaking of 5 material slots, I guess. A repeatable quest is now available to create resistance weapons for other jobs. You can also purchase the necessary powder. Piece de resistance. So this is a much more straightforward quest than, like, the beginning of some other relics, I think. If it was called skill speed, that would be very funny. I like this sword and shield, I think. That's pretty neat. It's not exactly the same metal as my armor, but it's pretty close. I've been wondering occasionally about whether Sucro should actually use a shield or if the invisible shield is cooler. I think there could be an argument for shields in the case of ones that look cool like this one. I'm guessing this is headed towards actual Bozja. But anyway. It's good to see you, my friend. Though it came at great cost, I'm pleased to say Master Geralt has succeeded in reforging the weapons of Gunhilder's blades. Indeed, the Queen's illustrious guard has at last been reborn. When the deed was done, word quickly spread to every faction of the Bozjan resistance. As we had hoped, it has reaffirmed their resolve to press on and see our home return to its former glory. In fact, our troops have already reclaimed Utya's Aegis, an outpost in the Bozjan southern front. When you are ready, I would ask you make for the front lines to better assess the situation for yourself. Sageros can show you the way. Okay, so I'm guessing we get the next relic weapon step once we get there. Hey, wait, what's that? Hey, wait, what's your weapon? Oh, that's not your weapon, that's part of your armor. Huh, okay. I thought that was like a weapon, that was like a really cool, weird sage weapon I'd never seen before for a second. I really like everyone suggesting legendary weapons that are just stat names and stuff, by the way. Also, exam score is very silly. I'm guessing whatever this is mechanically relevant to Bozja. Yeah, I mean, there are Pixie Wing Newlists now, I think. I think that was the design contest winner that is now a tombstone weapon, I believe. That's pretty cool. Ah, Blade Funk. I'm sorry? Blade Funk, my new special attack. Insert Super Mario RPG Sword Rain .wave in here. Blade Funk. One thing I did not anticipate about Bozja was them referring to me with the title in this manner. I've been expecting you, if you'll come with me. Nod. I guess blade as in like Blade of Gunhilder. The Bozjan Southern Front gets its own little UI. The rules of engagement on the Bozjan Southern Front are different than what you will have encountered before. The following pages contain a detailed explanation of what you may expect. All players will be synced to level 80. Item level will also be synced accordingly. All job actions unlocked through level 80 will be available. All players get a separate leveling system indicated by resistance rank. Perform well to get points. You must participate in fates, essentially. So they are called skirmishes. It does sync you up. That's like the only time that happens anywhere, I think. If you demonstrate sufficient metal, your resistance rank will go up. You have to report to get a level, though. You will also gain regular experience points. Bozja is good for leveling jobs that are under level 80. From what I hear. More information is available. I understand what I must do. Close. Wow. You have to be 71 to enter Bozja, but once you are there, it is good for leveling from the 71 to 80
I understand what I must do.
section, I think. Enter. Alright. Just like Eureka, it has like the queue, so it's an instanced thing. I'm guessing the continuing of the relic questline will be occurring within this instance. What do you mean question marks? I think we know where this is. I think we should know where this is, like, geographically, right? What do you mean question marks? Is it question marks because we don't know whose territory it is right now because we're fighting over it? Because if so, that might actually be a little clever instead. Can I move this? Oop. I sure can. I'm glad you could join us, Blade Funk, and not a moment too soon. Blade Funk is not going to get old. It does sound like a special move. Hey, that's a cool staff. Allow me to introduce you to Gunhilder's blades. Oh, they also have the relic weapons. Neat. High Mage Zevon, Master of Flames. The fury of his art rivals even the fieriest hells. Isolde, the Eagle Eye. In brightest day or darkest night, no enemy will escape her sight. Stanek, the unwavering blade of I thought that said stank for a second, and I was about to lose my mind. Stanek, the unwavering blade of Bozja. The foes dashed against his shield are beyond counting. Nod. Bow. Whatever that emote was. Belibor, the baleful blade. His unbridled fury can fell entire cadres, or whatever, with the single stroke. Aggie, the iron fist of Bozja, a young prodigy whose martial skills put even those most seasoned veterans to shame. By the way, the coat everyone here is wearing is the coat I'm interested in. For the record. One NPC per each class. I don't think this is Maybe it is an entire set of everybody. Blaz, the merciful blade. No foe, however terrible, would dissuade his blade from finding its mark. Determined. Whatever that is. Bow. I don't know the Hrothgar emotes very well. Mikoto is over there. Rest assured, this is not the guard in its entirety. A number have already taken to the field and would benefit greatly from your presence if you are willing. Determined. Nod. With Gunhilder's blades and the Warrior of Light leading the charge, it is only a matter of time before Castrum Lacus Litore is ours. Speaking of which, I believe you have yet to see the Castrum. If you'll follow me, I'll show you the object of our struggle here on the southern front. You're still offering a million dialogue. What does this mean? Okay, you're lore but with a UI, I guess. Unlike Eureka, you're immediately allowed to use a motorcycle. In Eureka, you have to earn the ability to use mounts, which adds to the feeling of tedium, for sure. There it is, Castrum Lacus Litore, to use the Garlean monitor. Yeah, the motorcycle can't fly, but, like, you know. Its true name is Alermuk, which means eagle in Bozjan, as they too once made their home in these mountains. To our people, they are a symbol of strength and good fortune, both of which were sorely needed when the Empire first invaded. That's a lot of lore to find. But we needn't dwell on past failings. Now we have a chance to reclaim what is rightfully ours. To remind the people what it is we stand to gain, I have chosen to call this initiative Operation Eagle's Nest. Like the great eagle, we must strike hard and swift. And with you at our side, I have no doubt we shall see this through to a glorious end. Okay. But how do I start the next relic weapon step? But before you rush into battle, I believe Mikoto wished to discuss the crystal focus with you. Good tidings, perhaps? I think the relic weapon steps are, like, for at least a little while, are somewhat separated from Bozja, at least optionally. But I think I probably have to, like, establish a presence in Bozja Southern Front to actually get anywhere. Like, I probably have to unlock actually moving around in this area. Ah, Sucro. Hello. I have rather exciting news to share. As you may recall, the energies of the crystal focus were spent on our exploration of Sid's memories. After careful analysis, we have concluded that it can, in fact, absorb ether in a similar fashion to the auracite we discovered in Ivalice. This assumes, of course, we have a suitable source of energy matching its ethereal frequency. Nod. And therein lies the problem. Crystals bearing such a specific ethereal signature are quite rare. We can never hope to amass the quantities needed. Were we to locate an ether current of the correct frequency, however, charging the focus would be a matter of course. Unfortunately, such currents exist only in regions of Bozja rife with Imperials. Of course. Such is the nature of game design. Mikoto wished to wait until the fighting died down, but as I explained to her before, time is a luxury we can ill afford. Questioning head tilt? Ether hertz. Like, measured in hertz is silly. As an idea, I like that. I'm sure you understand better than anyone that the bloodshed will only cease when a victor is decided, the death toll climbing ever higher on both sides. The horrors of this war weigh heavily on the hearts of our people. A burden which could be eased were we able to employ the crystal focus, healing wounds not of the flesh but of the mind. Plans to locate an ether current are well underway, but I suspect your help would see them expedited. Might we ask for your assistance in this endeavor? Nod. Pressed for time as we are, Sid has already begun work on a monitoring device to locate a sufficient source of ether. I would join him and see to the final preparations. In the meantime, I would ask the two of you to investigate a location I believe to be near an ether current. Sorry for interrupting, but a few of our soldiers wish to have a quick word before you depart. I expect their intelligence will prove useful when you're in the field. Yeah, that is nice of them. For sure. I appreciate your willingness to help, but must you always place yourself in such peril? I'm sorry, I understand you only do what must be done. We all have our roles to play, and I promise to fulfill mine as best I can. Stay safe out there, won't you? I guess talking to the other people is optional. Yeah, speak with people to learn more. Never. Forces assembling for critical engagement. I don't think I should do that immediately. Blade Funk, a moment if you would. I serve as war historian for the Bozjan resistance, and Marsak tells me you may be able to help in my work. I needn't tell you how the atrocities of war can wear on a soldier. As such, it has become increasingly difficult to find one of sound mind and body who can accurately recount their experiences on the battlefield. For hardened warriors such as yourself, I suspect keeping an account of the foes you face should prove a rather trifling task. Questioning head tilt? That's not to say I expect a detailed record of your every interaction, mind. If you should trade blows with any notable figures, however, I would hear of it. All information gathered from the Battle of Bozja will ultimately be compiled within my field records. Here, you may use this to take note of any memorable encounters in the field. I realize the burden this places on you, which is why I will see to it personally that you are duly compensated for your efforts. Collection expanded. Field record acquired. Okay. I will obtain notes. It doesn't seem to be Wondrous Tales. It seems to be like the near raids lore collection mechanic, which I remember from doing the first one. Parting word of advice, if I may. While there's no telling what you will face on the southern front, Dimitar over there may be able to assist you in finding worthwhile battles for our field record. I don't remember when the collection was introduced, but they did move the ether compass to it at some point when it wasn't before. Yeah, this is very much like the Nier mechanic from what I remember. Okay, still need to talk to you. Metal. Greetings, Blade Funk. I take it you will soon be joining the others on the southern front, yes? Though my duties have kept me here for the most part, I've heard tell of the carnage wrought in battle by enemy soldiers in their war machina. Indeed, the Imperials often prefer to wait until their intended target has been weakened before sending more troops to deliver the final blow. Yet for all their cunning, they are remarkably predictable. Questioning head tilt. Let us suppose you destroyed one of their war machina, and the enemy receives word of your victory. They would no doubt assume the effort has left you exhausted, perhaps even badly wounded. A perfect opportunity to send reinforcements and overwhelm you. But what if, unbeknownst to them, we are prepared for the arrival of these additional troops? It would be an opportunity to further diminish their ranks. I would ask you to venture out onto the battlefield and fell 2 4th Legion Nimrods, and 2 4th Legion Slashers. That word must mean something other than an insult, and I don't know it. Should they decide to send reinforcements, there will be no element of surprise to favor them. Defeating War Machina can initiate critical engagements, which are fates. Well, actually, no, they're not. They're like trials, I think? I don't know. Victory will increase your medal, earn you prizes. Or maybe they are fates. I thought fates were called skirmishes. Great Hunter, okay. But how do I start the relic weapon questlines next step? Probably by leaving. It would seem that yes. Beg pardon, Bladefunk. Might I speak with you for a moment? It concerns Master Geralt and the resistance weapons. I presume he's already explained the method by which Gunhilder's blades refined their weapons, that being combat with formidable enemies. Nod. Did he? Master Geralt and Zlatan intended to employ similar methods to enhance their resistance weapons, but they've hit something of a stumbling block. To make matters worse, Master Geralt, for reasons he refuses to explain, will offer no suggestions as to how they might proceed. Try as he might, Zlatan cannot convince him to expound on his thoughts, and quite frankly, we are at a loss. Today I am learning that Hrothgar have a lot of goofy emote animations that I've never seen before. This really is a recurring thing where we see scenes of people talking to each other without any dialogue. It's happening so much in this section of the game for some reason. Might we prevail upon you to inquire after Master Geralt? Nod. Yeah, that was one suggestion I was making earlier, though. It was partially as a joke. But the more it happens, the more I wonder. The more it happens, the more I wonder if it was actually cut. In some ways, yeah. Oh, it's you. Now, I know what you're thinking, but don't you go believing whatever nonsense they've been spouting about me work. Everything's going according to plan. He told me much of the same, and I believed him too at first, yet he refuses to speak to me of this supposed work. Should I take my eyes off him for even a moment, a mug of ale will surely find its way to his hands. That's bollocks and you know it. Where would I even keep all this alleged ale, huh? Behind the forge, in the forge, buried beneath the palm tree next to your tent, the ammunitions depository. Anyone with a nose can tell when you've put back a few. Shows what you know. The ale in the ammunitions depository was shipped with the rest to the front line. Couldn't knock one back even if I wanted. Shrug. Unless you forget I furnished an entire squad of soldiers with them resistance weapons. Don't you think you're being just a wee bit demanding, breathing down my neck for more bells and whistles? Yeah, that's definitely true about a lot of the boss characters and stuff. They do fit that sort of thing. Even if they're just like regular people, they'll be very tall. Which is probably a throwback to like old Final Fantasy games, and also just very useful like visually so you can see where they are. Was trouble enough forging them in the first place? Without me muse, well... Is there a problem? It's the inscriptions. Can't bloody figure out how to refine them. Not to mention, they're getting in the way of any other improvements I might be able to make. Trouble is, they're what really give the weapons their teeth. Their design, the materials used to forge them, that's all mostly for show. If you want your weapon to have more kick, the magic of the inscriptions needs to be more potent. But I don't even know where to begin. That is indeed a curious predicament. How did the Gunhilder's Blades of Eld accomplish this, I wonder? Any thoughts? Usually I have to fight a lot of stuff. Would that we could glimpse into the past and see for ourselves. Or perhaps they used a crystal focus. I guess this one. You mean those doodahs what the seers used? By the sounds of it, the Bozjans used crystals for damn near everything what had to do with memory, even keeping memories of their fighting techniques. Oh? Ah, that reminds me. We recently received a most interesting report from Gunhilder's Blades. Since taking their resistance weapons into hand, they have come across peculiar new crystals on the field, quite unlike anything previously discovered. That could be just what I'm looking for. There's no reason to believe they couldn't use those crystals on weapons, right? I suppose you're right about that, maybe. I'd wager me last flag and avail that the Bozjans could use them crystals in their memories of battle to strengthen the enhancements of those inscriptions. Well, that's what I'm hoping. I never really thought of Gino as a parody of an archetype, actually. But, like, it does kind of work. While it may be too soon to jump to such conclusions, it certainly warrants investigation. Exactly, and me hunches when it comes to weapon work ain't never wrong. Of course, we can't know for sure till we have a few to try for ourselves, eh? I'll see if I can't think of a way to work these memories into me plans. In the meantime, the two of you can go and find as many as you can. Nod. The idea of Kulex showing up in HD 2D is very good. I've also seen suggestions of Kulex showing up in like Paper Mario style because of his whole like can't find the third dimension deal. Either would be interesting. Right then, as we discussed with Master Geralt, I would ask that you procure memories for your weapon. Questioning head tilt. If I may be frank, it is quite a relief to know we needn't rely on Mistress Rowena for this endeavor. Fashioning weapons for the new Gunhilder's Blades was taxing enough on our coffers. Gods, I shudder to think what more she could demand as payment. But I digress. Perhaps we should first consider what manner of memory would be suitable for our purposes. That could be interesting too, but like, the thing with that is that, let me see if I can find it, actually. Kulex's entire speech in the original Super Mario RPG is talking about being confused, in like the original script, not like the first localization that we got, but like the Japanese speech of Kulex is about him not understanding the third dimension and being baffled by the isometric, like 3D of Mario and friends. Like that's part of it anyway. So I feel like he has to be 2D in some way. According to the Super Mario Wiki, Kulex's alignment and motives differ drastically between the Japanese and English versions. In the Japanese version, Kulex claims to be a timeless overlord made of pure evil. As a two-dimensional being, he is perplexed by the three-dimensional forms of Mario's party, so he demands a fight to try and understand them. Upon defeat, he recognizes the party's strength and positive energy, and he and his pocket dimension disappear until the day he finally gains the solidity of the third dimension. In the English version, Kulex's dialogue and backstory are completely rewritten. He is said to be a Dark Knight of Vanda, sent by the Dark Mage, but his plans came to a halt after discovering that Mario's world is uninhabitable to him and his kind. He remains in a secured location in the hopes that the world's strongest knight will seek him for a challenge before he departs. He has nobler mannerisms and attempts to leave Mario's company on good terms. So, like, there's several ways they could do that. They could have Kulex be fully aware that it's a remake and be like, I have discovered the third dimension! Or they could have, like, Kulex still be 2D. HD 2D or like pixel remaster Cool-X would be good. Though if it was like pixel remaster style, he probably wouldn't look that different. God, if you opened the door and the Whispers from 7 Remake showed up, that would be the funniest thing. Also, like, yeah, PlayStation graphics and say that. There's so many good things they could do with Cool-X. I hope that Cool-X or however you say that is still in the game. Like, there's also the possibility they could completely change Cool-X to be someone else or something else. I saw someone somewhere at some point say they're going to replace him with Sephiroth or something, aren't they? Which would also be very funny, but I'd be sad. Just imagine like Emmett Selk being there instead or something. There's so many ridiculous possibilities. Perhaps we should first consider what manner of memory would be suitable for our purposes. They should be memories of battle, of course, but the weapon's lineage can be traced to Bozja, so perhaps memories of battle on the southern front would be ideal. And to add a personal touch, I should think a memorable battle from places in your past would do nicely. By my estimates, you will need 3 varieties of memory and 20 of each. When you've gathered what we need, we can consult Master Geralt on how best to proceed. Memories of the dying can be obtained in the field fighting at the southern front or from specific fates in specified locations. Basically, we have to go grind Heavensward fates now, or southern front. The fates are significantly more reliable for this, is my understanding. Apparently the drop chance in Bozja is low. Do I have to have the weapon equipped for this? Yes. Or no, in your inventory... Wait, no, in your inventory you have to deliver the memories. Oh, I guess so, yeah. I don't know if I have to have Honor Bound and Tenacity equipped to do the fates or not. It would be silly if not, but not impossible. Thank God, a break from talking. I need to BRB for a second, actually. I need water and like a lozenge. Hello. thrilling Heavensward Paladin combat, having lost most of my toolkit. It's fine. It's just kind of funny that I'm only pressing 2 buttons now. Well, mostly. First, I'm going to try and complete a fate without having the necessary... without having Honor Bound and Tenacity equipped to see if it does anything. Just as a means of testing it. No harm done if it doesn't do anything, really. Oh yeah, Rage of Halone. I forgot about that move because it upgraded to Royal Authority so long ago. It can be either Bozja stuff, which has a low chance of dropping it, or a lower chance, or Fates in specified Heavensward zones, which have a higher chance of giving you what you need, I believe. Oh, we still got it. You don't need to have the weapon equipped. What? Why? But, Tortured Memory of the Dying. Hooray! Is that good? So I need 20 of those. You have to complete a total of 60 fates for this. That's older relic weapons. Yup. That's more than previous grind steps are in some cases, though I did have to run Copperbell Mines hard mode like 60 times probably. Actually, I think this is grindier than... I think this is grindier than a lot of the steps for Relic and Atma or Anima, right? Like, having done the Relic and Anima weapons... Thinking about it... I think this might be one of the most individually grindy steps of any Relic weapon grind that I've actually done. If I'm understanding it correctly. Maybe. This is probably a fight I can't do by myself, given the jingle. So never mind, actually. So, I wonder, should I try to do anything else for this, like, bonus stream? Or have I basically done everything that I need to do? It probably wouldn't be correct to do something like that I meant to do on the normal schedule in this bonus stream. Tales from the Shadow? Is that all available already? I was figuring that was something to do at the end of Shadowbringers stuff. It was on the end of my list, anyway. Oh, it's just a single quest? I did see that it was available. Huh. Interesting. I might want to do that on like a quote-unquote normal stream anyway. Like maybe after part of Eden or something, if there's still like a little time left. That is unfortunate. I could shuffle the schedule around even more if you wanted, but I could also just try and tackle Eden on my own. Your help is always appreciated after all, so... Or should I say the help of the mystery rabbit is always appreciated. Why am I going to get a tortured memory of the dying for not killing this person? Oh, I think I would say, by the way, that my official stance on anyone wanting to join in on any content that's not like someone I know, like in a they are a personal friend who I put on my friend list sort of way. I suppose I wouldn't really mind if you like tried queuing at the same time as a technique of doing that. But I'm probably not going to be adding people to my friend list or anything. For the record. So if you would like to try and join those at the same time, you can try that method. So that might put you into a situation where you have to do it anyway, and I'm not anywhere nearby. So that's up to you, I suppose. And I think I would prefer if people asked beforehand as well, rather than just doing that. Probably. But anyway, while we're here and talking about this schedule, since I'm not likely to be, I'm probably not gonna sit here and just stream doing a whole bunch of Heavensward Fates. But this is the current Shadowbringers schedule plan. We have cleared the first mark on this. We've started Bozja. So the current order of things, which does not take into account what days of the week they would be on, but is rather just an order of that I feel like makes sense for various reasons, is displayed here. So Eden, Wing 1 and 2, Roll Quest 2, Physical DPS. 5.2 magical DPS role quests. The Near Zone 5.3 healer role quests and role quests epilogue part 1. Eden Wing 3. The Trials 5.4. Role quest epilogue part 2 5.5, and then Tales from the Shadows is in there somewhere, which is more like singular Tale from the Shadows, I guess. So this is the current schedule plan. Oh, absolutely, the near raids are going to take a lot of streams. I don't know if Eden Wing 1 and 2 will be one stream either. This is just like the order of things. It's not like each of these bullet points is one stream. The near raids will probably take at least 2, if not 3, would be my guess. And like, there could be an argument for splitting Eden into one wing per stream as well, depending on how that goes. But yeah, this is the current idea. If anyone has any particular insights on this, they would be welcome, because not having actually done this content, but having like discussed this with some people, like this seems like a good order, but more insights would always be welcome for sure. Like it seems to be an order that makes sense for the sake of the pace and like the continuity and all that. I believe 5.3 has to be done before the third wing of Eden, if I'm correct. Like, you can't do the third wing of Eden without it. Move the role quest 4 and epilogue to before 5.3. I could do that. You learned something about it, you won't say otherwise, though. I'm not sure what that means, but that seems like a reasonable request. If you really, really wanted to participate in Eden, I suppose I could move Role Quest 2 to be tomorrow as well, if you wanted. Quest progression cutscene reasons. That's good reasons. I will accept this. As such, I will move Role Quest Epilogue Part 1 and Healer Quest to before 5.3. That is also a fair point. I might need to do something more chill on a given day. But I do also have Elder Scrolls Online for that, though that'll also probably be the Monday game for like 5 years once I complete Street Fighter. So, you know. Unless like literally nobody watches it, then I'll have to reconsider. But yeah. By the way, this is a static image, so I can't edit it in real time. Can I get a window capture of Notepad? Is that legal? Oh no, it's another instance of Final Fantasy. It doesn't seem like Notepad's an option. Fascinating. Does game capture see Notepad? That'd be funny. It freaking does. But why does it work, though? Seems not. Oh well. I cannot show you my Notepad on stream, it would seem. Content warning in the Trials series also is good to know beforehand, but like, state that again when we get there for sure. if you are around. Yeah, I fully expect that sort of thing to also take multiple streams, because it's roughly equivalent to the Four Lords, which took 2 or 3. I don't remember. I forgot what image 11 was, but it's Orbo. That's Orbo. So I can remove Bozja from the list also. The list of Endwalker stuff is way more ambiguous right now too, because like it's not all released and fully existing. The Orbo Monastery. So alright. Plans have been slightly revised. Tomorrow will be either Eden or Roll Quest 2, I guess. Monday will be Street Fighter, hopefully. Wednesday will be the other thing that's not the thing that I just said. Yeah, absolutely. Like, Endwalker plans-wise, first priority is, of course, 6.0. And one or more of the role quest lines before the end of it. And then depending on what patches are out, it will either be divided into, like, story beats, like this is, like, now I do the Alliance raids or whatever. Or it will be, if 6.5 isn't out yet, I'm thinking of approaching it in the sense of, like, I will do everything that they added in 6.1. Now I will do everything that they added in 6.2, etc. Which would be a different way of presenting it, and also interesting, and also how I would have to present any new patch down the road once I catch up, anyway. So yeah. It's possible. But I think that'll probably be enough for right now. We did what I set out to do today. And I might care about the Bozjan stuff on my own time at some point. And if anything noteworthy happens, I'll probably say something about it at some point, somewhere. Hooray. I don't have much else to say, I suppose. So that was a bit of Bozja. Or at least the beginning of it, and the cool, like, instance that exists. Thank you all for watching. As per usual, if you are interested in any links, they are available at borealrobin.cardwith2rs.co. I would very much appreciate also if you would follow or subscribe. If you're not, like, consider it, I mean, you don't have to. Your viewership is also appreciated. Spreading the word, etc. All sorts of things you can do, if you would like. I would appreciate all of them. All of those things that I listed anyway, and everything adjacent to those. There's probably some stuff that you could do that I wouldn't appreciate that would be weird, like... I don't know. Using one of the social media links to spam me with pictures of potatoes that you found on Google Images. I wouldn't appreciate that very much. It would be strange. Anyway, weird brain tangent aside regarding potatoes, that has been Final Fantasy XIV, and I will see you tomorrow for Final Fantasy XIV, which is the same game, but we're going to be doing a different part of it, because there's a lot of content. Hooray! I'm really good at outros, you see. But, yeah. And all that having been said, thank you all for watching. I hope you have a good rest of the day or night. And I will see you tomorrow, hopefully. Or if not, hopefully Monday or Saturday. Who knows? Good night.